What's up, y'all? We're back for a review of Real Housewives of Atlanta, Season 16, Episode 4. Now, before we jump into things, you already know what to do. Go ahead and scan that QR code to get connected to me, or click the link in my description to get directly to me. All right, y'all, so let's get into it. So in the first scene, we get Angela and Brittany. They meet up. They're going on for a walk. Angela, or not Angela, Brittany brings her little puppy in her little stroller. And basically, they're walking and talking, and they sit down and they start talking about family dynamics. So Angela brings up how her and her sister are basically not seeing eye to eye right now, and the mom is in the middle. And she also talks about how she made the mistake of bringing her marriage into her family. Now, this is the thing that's annoying me about Angela, because it's like Angela is not trying to touch on the elephant in the room, and the elephant in the room is that Charles obviously had a side baby. We know that from when she first was breaking down all the children they had, and she literally said Charles' son. So making a point of saying that's not her son, that's his son. And now it makes sense when you think about, okay, the thing that happened at Madison Square Garden that happened 7 years ago. I believe that son is around the same age. I wish she would just come out and just say that he had a child on her, instead of like telling us without telling it, because it's like, girl, like just be honest, just be real, just stop sugarcoating it. And then of course Brittany, she talks about her situation with her two sisters, brings up her dad again. Boop de whoop de whoop. And then they start talking about what happened last week with Shamia at Kelly's fundraising event. And ironically, Angela is actually inviting Shamia to her party still. So clearly, she's still trying to extend that olive branch and really is in her feelings, even with the whole nose comment. And then Brittany brings up her beef with Kenya. And my thing is, what is it about Kenya? Like, I understand Kenya said the comment, it was a little shady, but it's like she stuck on that moment and cannot get over it. Like, it's almost like she's obsessed with Kenya. Like, get over it. Like, she said that one comment, it was shady. There really is no beef between y'all. I'm not understanding. So anyways, in the next scene, we get Shamia, and she invites her sister over, and she has her preview her song that she has with RL. I believe it's called Never Had. And honestly, it sounds really good. Shamia is a really good singer. But anyway, she's talking about how she wants to showcase the girls the song at Angela's party. So she is going to the party. And she even said it herself that she's surprised that Angela's inviting her after what she said about her nose and, them getting into it. And it really speaks to Shamia's character, because she makes a good point and says that, how can I be this woman who wants to be someone for the community, someone uplifting women, and then I'm out here acting the way I'm acting? Like, that's not, good to act like that. So by her going to the party, she's hoping that she can extend the olive branch and maybe become cool with Angela. So then the next scene, we get Portia, and she goes to meet up with her team. We got her assistant, and I forgot the other two people there. But basically, they're having a little team meeting. And Portia basically is saying that now, well, actually, by default, it's no longer about being in the soft life. She's back to being in her businesswoman era. She originally did want to retire at 40, but now, because of this divorce, she's back to her business. So in there, she was talking more about her sheet line, expanding that. And also they had she was talking about the go naked hair. That's when one of her business partners speaks up and starts talking about how Drew had hit her up about her and Dennis and the filming. And he made a joke saying, like, when did Dennis, what did he say? He was like, when did Dennis turn into some famous music producer? I forgot who it was. Oh, he said, when did Dennis turn to Quincy Jones? That had me weak. No, because we're all still wondering, like, when did Dennis become this whole executive producer? He, whatever. But anyways, not Drew. Portia squashes that immediately. She's like, look, me and Drew got other things that we got to deal with. I'm going to go handle her. Y'all don't worry about that. So that was basically the scene with Portia. Now, the next scene, we have Drew and Ralph. We have Ralph outside. He's doing some like football training with his sons. And then Drew walks up, kids go away. And it's Drew and Ralph basically talking about their divorce. Now, in this scene, they were actually getting along quite well with each other. And Drew made a point of saying that they're doing really well co parenting, even more than they had done when they were actually together. which says a lot. Ralph brings up how one of the children brought an article in announcing the divorce, and Drew makes a point of saying in her confessionals that she's not really in the space to talk to the kids one on one about the details of them going through the divorce. Obviously, the kids know that something's going on. She mentions how one of the kids is much more quiet, but she's not in that space right now. Neither one of them are to actually talk about what is happening. And then that's when Ralph brings up how he's seen all the things and all the headlines and blog posts about him being a narcissist, which Drew doesn't know the definition of. We found that out in her confessional. She had to look it up and was like, "Oh, that's what it means." But yeah, no, that's what he is. And he made a point of saying, like, "I'm sorry if I have been that way," which it's rare for a narcissist to do. Apologize. Like, he is such a and it really just it just it just grinds my gears because they had a little scene where they show the basement, kind of like, what's it called, like MTV Cribs, and he really down there chilling. Like, you could tell he really does not care, like, about this divorce. Like, I feel like Drew is truly hurt, and I feel like Ralph literally is like, "Hey, like, let's go," like, 1 point. So then Drew was even saying too, like, you finally got what you wanted, like, you get to have your space, have your freedom. And he's over here talking about, that's never what I wanted. What I wanted from the beginning is just respect, which is crazy work because he is the most disrespectful person, one of the most disrespectful husbands that we've seen on this platform. So in the next scene, we get Kelly, and she actually goes to Kenya's hair shop, and Kenya's hair shop is beautiful. It's like this white marble purple layout, and basically, Kenya invited her over because she wanted to get some advice from Kelly, since Kelly owns her own business. One thing I must say, it's so weird that Kenya really is like basically kicked off the show, because in this scene, like, not seeing Kenya have a confessional, especially because we see Kenya crying. Kenya basically is scared about the shop. She says she got 400,000 invested into it, and basically Brooke going to college is riding on if this shop makes it through. So this would have been a very good moment to have Kenya have a confessional, because we don't see Kenya for real break down and be sensitive in that nature. Like, Kenya, honestly is a mean girl. So to see her break down crying and have a vulnerable moment, I would have loved to seen her in the confessionals and really talking more about that. But like I said, it's just so weird. They really just kicked her off to the curb. Like, she's really just a side character. But anyways, so they're in the shop, they're chilling, and there's like this bodyguard there. And Kenya asks Kelly, like, "Why do you have a bodyguard?" And Kelly basically tells her that she has a bodyguard due to her ex. So as we know, her ex has been super abusive. And she started talking about it a little bit more to Kenya, basically explaining the abuse. She explained how in court he actually threatened to kill her. And because of that, he can't see the kids. Obviously, he can't be around her. She has a restraining order against him. So this is very serious. And I'm not going to lie, the fact that Kelly's on this show, it honestly makes me nervous for her, because I'm sure he has to be watching this show and has to be watching these things being said for him. And I just give Kelly all the strength and encouragement and everything above, because I know that must be something very hard to go through. So they talk about that, and Kenya also asks her, "What does he want from you? Like, what is the deal?" And what he wants from her is the businesses. So they started the businesses together. The businesses have been running for 8 years. They were married for 11 years. She told him that he can have all the residuals and just let her run the businesses, but he does not want that. As we know, with the second one that was supposed to originally open, he stopped that from happening, cleared out all the money from that. So that's what they're basically fighting over. But this scene was actually a really touching scene with both of them. So when Kenya was breaking down, talking about how she's scared to go into this business, how do I get customers, all that, Kelly was really reassuring her, like, no, like, girl, like, you got this, like, you will be straight. So that was really good to see them two bonding. So in the next scene, we get Brittany and her older sister Cher. They sit down to meet for dinner and basically squash things. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you, the way that Brittany was talking about her falling out with the sisters, I thought they were beefing for like a long period of time. Come to find out, it's only been a month. So I mean, granted, that still is a long time, especially if they're super close. But I feel like Brittany was putting dubs on it. But there still are some family dynamics because when we first sit down with them, Brittany asks how she's been doing, how's everything been going, how's things with her mom. The sister straight up said, or Cher straight up says she blocked the mom. I'm like, oh dang. So Cher don't get down, she don't play like that. And apparently she had blocked Brittany too. So I think that's why they hadn't been talking for a month. But basically, Cher's whole standpoint was that she felt like Brittany and Mike, her husband, were a package deal, and she felt like she was putting Mike over her. And she was like, I'm trying to come to you to talk to you about depression and having anxiety, and I can't even talk to you because he's sitting up under us. So it was something that was easily like squashed. Like literally Brittany was just like, I mean, well, call me and just tell me you only want to like talk to me and blah 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 blah. Like it was something that was, to me, seemed so simple and didn't need to have drawn out beef for a month. But okay, so they squashed that beef, and I guess now they're cool again. And then next scene, we get we get Drew in the studio with Dennis. So it came into fruition. Her and Dennis did film with each other. I'm like, Lord. And they in the studio, there's like another producer in there too. She asked him to leave and was like, can I talk to Dennis on his own? And she starts telling Dennis, like, yeah, things are weird with me and the girls. Like, Portia has a problem with me working with you. And here goes Dennis trying to act stupid, like, what? Like, I didn't even know. Rewind back the cameras. They rewind them back to when he was in the car with Portia, and Portia literally was like, if you work or if you film with this girl, it's gonna be a problem. So it's like clearly he knows, but he's gonna play stupid, just like how Drew be playing stupid and lying too. But anyways, he's like, oh, I didn't know, blah blah blah. So Drew starts explaining it to him, and it had me crying because Dennis was like, I mean, well, the last time I talked to Portia, she was in Nigeria eating fufu, like for real. Like Portia was never tripping off any of this when she was with Simon. She only tripping now because she is not with Simon no more, and now she feels some type of way. But honestly, if Portia was still with Simon, I doubt she would care that they be working with each other. Just being honest. So Drew asked Dennis if there's anything he can do about it, and he straight up basically is like, nah, like it's on you. And Drew in her confessional is like, I feel like the door with Portia is closed. I've tried so many times to talk to her. Like, Drew is just, Drew, stop lying. Like, granted, yes, she has tried, but it's like, girl, it's a simple phone call that you can make and be like, hey, like, I'm just so over Drew. But yeah. So in the next scene, we finally have all the girls preparing for Angela's party. It's actually not a party; it is a dinner. And first off, the girls are throwing shade. What's her name? I believe Brittany was throwing shade because it's in Bankhead. So basically, they go into the hood. So some of them are a little bit scared, but basically Angela's hosting her party. They all get there. It's supposed to be black attire, but guess who shows up not wearing black? Kenya. Kenya shows up wearing blue. And she states that she didn't get the memo. Like, all right, girl, I guess. So everyone rolls through. It was cute when Shamia rolls through. She had a bottle of olive oil and like little tree branch in there. And she went up to Angela and she actually apologized and said that she was sorry that she came for a physical appearance and that is not like her and her character. And I thought that was really big of Shamia. Now getting to the mess and tea of it all. So they're all sitting down and basically they're playing this game where you write a question to someone in the group and put their name on it. So the first question was like for Shamia, and it was like, "What did you do to your husband after he gave you that Rolls Royce?" And she started acting out what she was doing, and baby, yeah, I was getting a little hot and bothered in there. The next question was like, Kenya, what underwear are you wearing? Kenya had like dang near three questions, but the question that started off the drama is one of the questions was, Kenya, can you be nice to Brittany? And oh, first off, rewind. When all the girls get there, and they're all giving each other hugs or whatever, Kenya and Brittany, they exchange, well, I thought it was a hug. And Brittany calls it out and was like, "Oh, this is a little pit pat that you gave me. That's not a hug." And Kenya's like, "Yes, it is. It's a hug when you don't want to get makeup on you." I don't know if that was shade, her saying that her face is like caked or something, but like in my head, I'm like, why is she so like obsessed with Kenya? Like it's starting to get weird. And I'm not even a Kenya stan like that, but it was okay, whatever. But anyway, so the question was like, can you be nice to Brittany or why can't you be nice? And Kenya basically is like, I'm nice to everybody, blah, 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 starts explaining herself. And Brittany cuts her off and is like, no, we're asking just about me. First off, Kenya got more than one question about her. So why is she even getting two questions to begin with? But okay, whatever, we'll just roll with it. But it just turned really left. Like, to be real with you, I had to like kind of rewind it back because I'm like, I'm confused on how we went to point A to point B, because basically Kenya and her start getting into it, and Kenya says something along the lines of like, I'm not going to argue with the peasant. And why does she say that? That sets it off. Brittany is upset. As they're all leaving out, Brittany's over there talking about she got her pistol on her and she don't do this Hollywood ish, and basically threatening her. And then she's over there doing hella extra, like, oh, let me go call my husband. Yeah, let me go get my husband to come get me right now. Like, basically trying to throw in Kenya's face that, she's single, ain't got no man, all that. But she was doing a lot. And even the other girls were saying the same thing too. Like, girl, calm down. Like, it is not that deep. I don't know if there was some past beef that she had with Kenya. I mean, Kenya's older than her, so it doesn't make sense. But it was just really weird. Like, she really was over here talking about getting her pistol, and she don't know what she's talking about. She'll have to find out. Like, it was just very odd. But that was pretty much the end of the show, y'all. So if y'all like this review, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see y'all next week. Thanks for watching.